Morning, folks. Camino blisters are nasty. What can we do to avoid them? Let's find out. Now you could say, well, blisters, not a big deal. I had blisters before, compete over it, and I'm done. But Camino blisters are different, my friend. Camino blisters are huge. They gather in groups and then they combine into a ginormous blister. And in this blister grow new blisters inside of it. It's hilarious. Now when it's about blisters, it all comes down to the perfect combination of your feet, your shoes, and your socks. If you get blisters, you've done something wrong. Simple as that. Now, blisters are a result of friction. And if you're not sure about your decisions, you can try to prevent that friction by wearing double layer socks. Or some people even wear ladies' tights under their normal socks. If you want to do that, it's your decision. But by logic, it avoids friction. You're good to go. Now, socks in general, you can pay a ridiculous amount for socks. You can easily pay 40 euros for a pair of socks. Of socks. Oh, with a fancy mixture with wool or merino. Is it necessary? I don't think so. I made the best experiences with non-expensive socks made of 100% plastic. Important is that the fabric of the socks is smooth, not rough, and that they are seamless if possible. Perfect sock. Well, speaking about material in general, while walking, everything that has direct contact to my body is made out of artificial materials, functional materials, all kind of, let's say, cotton, wool, merino, maybe as a second layer, but with contact to my skin, all artificial. Because natural material like cotton or wool tends to hold the moisture, doesn't transport it. That's not nice. Back to your feet. Now, in order to reduce the friction, you can try to smoothen your skin to make it more soft. Now in Germany we have something that's called Hirschtalg. Google translates as deer tallow. I don't know if that's a thing. Anyway, it's a cream that softens the skin, especially your feet. And it's awesome. It feels amazing. Anyway, it's always a good thing to massage your feet, to cuddle with your feet, to talk to your feet. No kidding, I do that. They are taking me to Santiago. Now, on my first Camino, I used deer tallow every day. After the shower and before I started walking. Feels amazing. And when I arrived at Puente La Arena, I met a girl. She was walking with a dog, and her dog had sore paws, due to walking for kilometers on gravel. And I gave my Diatello to the girl for her dog, and I met her some days later, and she said for a dog was a lifesaver. Now, since that day I didn't use Diatello, and I didn't get any blisters anyway. So Diatello, good thing, definitely. Is it necessary? I don't think so. For me it wasn't. Now what you have to avoid at all costs is wet feet. Water makes the skin soft and watery. And those kind of skin tends to get blisters. So, back to shoes. Now, if you're wearing trail runners with a lot of mesh and it's raining, good luck with that. You'll get wet feet. And yeah, when you walk for hours with wet feet in your wet shoes, I'm quite sure that you get blisters. Apart from that, now when you walk, it's warm outside, you get hot feet, and you find, let's say, a small river or a lake with fresh ice cold water, and you're longing for putting your feet into the water for refreshment. Don't do that. Some people even say, don't take a shower in the morning for the same reason. Keep your feet dry. Now, you've done everything right. Perfect shoes, good socks, Diatello, and you still got blisters. The problem with blisters is, once you notice that you get them, it's already too late. How to deal with that? Now, first of all, I'm not a big fan of Compete, because once you applied it, very hard to get them off again. They stick inside of your socks. That's nasty. And, you know, a blister itself is, you know, a liquid-filled skin dome with a lot of pressure on your raw skin. And when you attach another liquid-filled dome in form of a Compete, it's even more pressure. I don't know, for me it doesn't make sense. Only makes sense if you have, let's say, some kind of a hot spot where there might be a blister sometime. Then can apply a Compete, but not liquid-filled bubble on a liquid-filled bubble. Doesn't make any sense to me. For the boys, buy a packet of Compete, take it with you. Ladies love Compete. And if some girl is in need of a Compete, you can give it to her. Ladies will love you. Now, if you got a blister, there are different approaches how to deal with them. There are the specialists, the field doctors, who treat the blister with a needle and a thread. They pull a thread through the needle and through the blister. Disinfection made by a gas lighter. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can never sterilize a thread. Means you put something non-sterilized on your naked flesh. If you got an inflammation, you're lucky. But I've met people who caught a bacterial infection. And bacterial infection is one of the few reasons you have to quit your Camino. Better is disinfection spray, sharp scissors, cut open your blister, gently squeeze out the liquid, sterile plaster over it, and leave the blister the fuck alone. And everything will be fine. Trust me. But don't be scared. It's possible to walk to Santiago without blisters. My first Camino, I didn't have the tiniest single blister. And I was watching my fellow pilgrims dealing with a huge blisters and bloody toes, and I was thinking myself, oh, what a loser. The next year, I was so overconvinced of myself. I was so arrogant. I knew everything. I was invincible. I couldn't get a blister, never. And I made some funny experiments with different shoes. Yeah. And I got dozens of blisters, huge ones. By the way, that was the Camino where I lost my toenail. Anyway, I started with 2 pair of different shoes. I dropped them both into the bin, and at Viana I bought me another pair of shoes with which I walked to Santiago. It was an awful Camino, but in total 3 out of 6 Caminos I walked without any blister at all. So it's possible. One word to dear Tello: even if it might not be necessary for your feet, buy it anyway and apply it between your butt cheeks. Now, if you once walked with sore butt cheeks and you're under the shower, you know what I'm talking about. If not, and it happens to you, you will remind my words. So today, we learned a lot. It's not usual. Anyway, till next time. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned. Buen Camino.